is up, my friends? Coach Todd here. I know it's been a while since I made my last video, but we're going to get more regular. I'm going to be coming at you guys more regularly. Say that 10 times fast. Regularly, but can't do it. Just finished a P90X2 workout, total body and X2 ab ripper. It was awesome. So sad though, I ran out of P90X results and recovery formula, but got this tasty little alternative right here. And if you want to check out some alternatives to a P90X recovery drink, click the link right here. Boom! Go there. So today I actually wanted to talk about something that I get a ton of questions on. And in my effort to continue to provide you with the best nutrition information, because you know, and I know, that 80% of your results are going to come directly from your nutritional efforts. How precise can you be with your nutrition? And that's what today's video is going to address. And the question I get a lot that I want to talk about today is, what should my calorie deficit be? Because people wonder, okay, do I run like a 600 calorie deficit, a 700 calorie deficit, or 1,000, 1,500? It's kind of confusing, and I struggled with that at first too. After doing some research, I have a very good understanding, which I want to relay to you. So I'm going to take a sip, put this down, and we'll get to it. So there's a few factors that are going to play into what's going to determine what your calorie deficit is. I think it's 4, maybe 5, but it's going to be your sex, not that kind, your gender, your current body weight and body fat percentage, your activity level, and what your calorie intake to maintain your weight is going to be. Those 4 things are going to determine what your calorie deficit should be. So let's just go ahead and address the first thing, sex. Get your mind out of the gutter. So, there's a lot of things. Obviously, I don't need to explain the difference between men and women. Hopefully your mother and father did that a very long time ago. But men and women work differently. You know, they have different metabolisms, different hormones going on. So with men and women, you know, there's a certain level of calories that you need each day, both different from men and women, that's essential for brain function and everything that your body does. And that's different for men and women. For men, never eat. This is, and let me just put this disclaimer out there. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. This is what I've learned from my own research. This is what I've learned through my own experience in helping hundreds and hundreds of people get results like I've gotten. So, with men, I want you to write this down if you got a pen. Men, whoops, not less than, less than or equal to 1,700 or greater than or equal to 1,700 calories. Men, never go below 1,700 calories a day for what you're taking in. I don't care how big you are, I don't care how skinny you are, never go below 1,700 calories. For women, you're going to eat greater than or equal to 1,200 calories. As a female, you know, you got a lot of things going on in your body. Same with men, don't get me wrong, but that is what's essential for proper brain function. You know, when you get depleted, you know, men as well, there's irritability there, there's muscle fatigue, you feel terrible, and you end up going back to old habits. Start eating crap in order to make yourself feel better. So take in 1,200 calories a day for women, 1,700 calories for men. Simple. Okay, so the next indicator is going to be your current body fat and your current weight. And the reason that plays into what your calorie deficit is going to be is because your current body fat percentage and your current weight is a great indicator of how well or how efficient your body is at storing and burning fat. So if you're a guy like me, I can gain weight really easily. I really got to watch what I eat. I got to stay pretty precise with my nutrition in order to keep my physique. You know, if you're like me and you were carrying around 60 extra pounds of fat, that's a pretty good indicator that your body stores fat very easily versus the person who has maybe the same poor eating habits and only has about 10 pounds of extra fat to lose. You know, those skinny guys who can eat whatever they want, you know, they have a higher metabolism, obviously. So there's a general guideline. Again, this is from my own research and my own experience helping hundreds and hundreds of people lose weight. So I have a guideline that for men, this is for men, if you have 25 pounds or more to lose and 17% or more body fat, then you do not want to run more than a 1,400 calorie deficit. Do not take in more than 1,400 calorie. I'm sorry. Don't go more than a 1,400 calorie deficit. So for a woman, same rules here. You know, if you have 25 pounds or more to lose, if you're 17% body fat or more, females, you do not want more than a 700 calorie deficit. That's for women. You don't want more than 700 calorie deficit. So, you know, when we get to our next point, talking about what your calorie intake needs to be in order to maintain your current weight, you know, you'll take that number. You don't want to subtract more than 700 calories from that. So that's a good indicator. Your current body fat and your current weight of how you need to store weight. These are some general guidelines that you can follow for both men and women. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is we're going to calculate your calorie intake to maintain your current weight. If you're 235 pounds, plug in 235 pounds in this equation. If you're 180, plug in 180. It's pretty simple. So the very first thing we're going to calculate is your resting metabolic rate. That is your RMR. And that equals your current body weight, multiplied by 10, okay, equals your resting metabolic rate. Okay, and then we're going to calculate your active burn. This is what your body burns: growing hair, pumping blood, you know, walking from your kitchen downstairs. This is just daily calorie burn. You're going to take your resting metabolic rate. Sorry, this is your active burn. Okay, resting metabolic rate times 20%, so 0.2, and that's going to equal your active burn. Okay, and then we're going to take your active burn and we're going to add your exercise burn. So that's the average calories you burn during a single workout. So if it's P90X, we're just going to assume it for this. That's 600. All right? So 600 calories. And then that is going to equal your daily intake. Okay? So that's pretty simple. There's my eraser. All right. Let's plug in some numbers for that, just to show you a good example. So make sure you got this, because I want to be very thorough with this so that you know how to calculate this, you know exactly how to figure what your calorie deficit needs to be. So let's say I weigh 180 pounds. To get my resting metabolic rate, so resting metabolic rate, okay, 180 pounds times 10, or 1,800 pounds times 10 equals 1,800. Okay, I take that 1,800, right? Multiply it by 20%. And let's see, that's 180, 360, So that's 2160. All right. I take that. So I have my active burn here. Okay. Now I'm going to figure my exercise burn. So I take that 2160. All right. I add in 600 calories, and that, folks, is going to give us 2,760 calories per day in order to maintain my weight of 180 pounds. Okay? Now, if I'm a 180-pound guy and I have, 10 pounds of, or if I'm below 17% body fat, let's say I'm around 15 or so, like I mentioned in the previous step, if you have less than 17% body fat, you don't, as a man, you never want to go, or for a male, you never want to go more than a 1,400 calorie deficit. So for this guy who weighs 180 pounds, around 15% body fat, I would suggest probably like 2,200 a day, maybe 23, okay, per day for the guy who weighs 180 pounds. Now this number, this is not solid. This is where people get confused. Is this number is not like etched in stone. You can play around with this. With my 1,900 calorie diet, which I'll put a link to right here. Nope, it's not going to be there. It's going to be in the description of the video. So down further. So click that. You can see my 1,900 calorie diet, what types of foods I ate. But with that 1,900 calories, that wasn't like rock solid. When I figured mine, I weighed 228 pounds, and my final number came out to like 3,336, 336 calories, and I went down to 1,900. So you can see I went that 1,400 calorie deficit. So this 1,900 calorie was like the maximum deficit for me, but for someone else, 2,200 or 2,200 calories, 2,300. That's about like a 400, 500 calorie deficit for for the person who's 180 pounds. You might feel a little depleted if you're at 2,200 calories a day. If you feel depleted throughout the day, bump it up 100 calories, but stick to your macros. That's in this video right here. This will teach you how to calculate how many grams of protein per day, how many grams of carbs, how many grams of fat you need per day on a fat shredder diet in order to just get shredded. So play around with this number. See how your body reacts. If after a month you're feeling bogged down all day long, you're doing the workouts, you're hitting your targets every day, but you're just feeling like you have zero energy, then bump up the calories, but keep your macros the same. Keep your 50-30-20 macros the same. So here's my giant disclaimer for this whole video, this entire video. Okay, a lot of people think that less calories means more weight loss, and that is a very, very dangerous thing to think. Okay, a lot of people think the bigger calorie deficit they run, the more calories or the more fat they're going to lose, and it's just not true. When you run a calorie deficit that's so low, if you're taking in so few calories, your body is actually going to work against you. You're going to start burning muscle. You're going to start burning muscle for energy. Because what your body does is it goes into survival mode. It's like, what the crap? We're not getting any food. We're starving. We're going to store this fat in case of an emergency, because this is an emergency. So it stores the fat, starts attacking. Your body starts going after muscle for energy. You're just gonna, that's counterproductive to what you're trying to do. You're trying to increase muscle mass so you can burn more calories. So follow the guidelines that I laid out previously for calorie intake, and don't get stuck in that mentality that eating less is going to mean more weight loss, because you're just going to burn up muscle, and you know what? You're going to be grumpy. you're going to be irritable. And what I've found, when you're irritable because of food, you end up binge eating. You end up binge eating, and you eat with your emotions, and then you're going to be headed back to the fridge, and you're going to be back to your old habits real quick. So follow these guidelines that I laid out to calculate your calorie deficit, what works for you. If you have questions, post them in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped out, right down there. Give it a thumbs up if it helped you out. And I look forward to talking to you guys. Really, it's fun getting back on these videos. And, I mean, visit my blog. I'm going to be posting up there a lot more often. So, thanks, guys, for tuning in. And I'll see you on the next video. God bless.